It should not be a surprise that a lot of men do not like their girlfriends, their wives, nothing. And if you've seen this Twitter thread, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I wanted to make this video cater towards women so that they can know how to know if their man just doesn't like them and how to leave those sorts of relationships, how to avoid it, and just how to just level up their life and date good men who actually like them and love them, because that's what you deserve, period. Before anyone gets their panties in a twist, this video is not to say all men are trash, we hate men, this and that. No, okay? Like, that's not what this video is about. Choosing your partner is just as important as choosing your career. Being in the wrong relationship can literally ruin your life, and it should not be taken lightly. Anyways, let's get into these tweets, y'all. So the thread is called "The phase where you slowly start hating your girlfriend is crazy." This literally has 158,000 likes. That is crazy. So if y'all have not seen the thread, y'all are just confused. Let me read through what this thread says, okay? When you keep messing up on purpose so that she can break up with you and she keeps forgiving you, you'll be having a bad day, and when she hugs you, it becomes even worse. I'm not even gonna read that one because no. When you're wondering why you're having such a peaceful day and it turns out she's giving you the silent treatment. When she thinks you're broke and hits you with, "We don't have to do the expensive dates to meet up, we can just chill." That time you just want her to leave you alone. Her hug feels like you're getting mugged. When she sends you good morning and you just start feeling nauseous. You tried to get her to break up with you and she's not breaking. When you can't let her go because you haven't found her replacement. Though I swear, like, it gets even worse than this. Like, there is some really crazy and unhinged tweets on here, and a common theme among all these tweets is just like, why don't you just break up? Why are you staying with her if you literally hate her? It is completely normal to have points where you do not like your partner, especially if you're in a long-term relationship, but hating your partner is just a whole nother level. And like, what I've seen on TikTok is that a lot of men will create this unbearable environment, which is so bad, but just not bad enough for you to leave. And like, they literally go through this in the tweets. They're saying how they do this to her, they do that to her. These men are literally manipulating their girl, they're lying to their girl, they're cheating on their girl, playing all these mind games with her, and then they're like laughing at you for not leaving. But then when you finally do leave, they come back and they're crying and they're begging to be back with you, only to cheat on you 5 seconds later. A lot of men are saying, we're just venting, we're just this, we're just that. But I just can't fathom the fact that this is your partner, this is someone you love, and now you're trying to justify the fact that you hate them when they never did anything inherently wrong to you, and when those problems could have been easily solved if you had just communicated. What I've seen from a lot of men is that they're saying that their partner is not providing that space for them to communicate. She lashes out, she retaliates, she does this, she does that. And if that's the case, why not just leave? Why are you staying in these relationships where you feel like you're unheard, that she's making you feel small, but then you're still staying and you're doing her so dirty and then begging to get her back? It doesn't make sense. We are normalizing so many things in the society. We're saying, oh, cheating is fine, or doing this to your partner is fine, and now we're trying to normalize the fact that hating your partner is fine when it's not. Let me stir down the controversy a little bit, okay? I want to make this video lighthearted and fun. That was like the serious portion, okay? I just want to get into like how we can just level up as women, how we can like stop putting up with the bare minimum. We deserve to be loved, we deserve a good partner. And so let's get into it. Here's some signs that man do not like you. So one, he never compliments you, okay? You are a bad bee, you are a goddess that is walking this face of earth, and that man never compliments you? Or he tries to pull that little, oh, like, you already know you're pretty, or oh, people already tell you this, so I don't need to tell you. What? No, like, you should especially tell me because I want to hear it from you. Don't do that, y'all. Two is if he's always so busy. Like, obviously people can be busy, you know what I mean? Like, people have lives, of course, but if they wanted to, they would. And especially if they're more available then, and then all of a sudden they're so busy for you, they can't plan dates, they can't do this, and he's becoming really distant, girl, that man may not be interested no more. And let's not take things out of context, okay? Like, obviously, if he's going through something, like, you know, like something crazy just happened to him, like, of course, like, this is not the same. But if it's just out of nowhere and you have no explanation, no reason as to why, then maybe you should question what's going on. Three, if he's irritated by little things that you do. Like, you ask this man for the remote and he's kissing his teeth and rolling his eyes and all this stuff just because he did that, girl, that man may not like you. He may not, because why you mad? Four, if he puts you down, like if he's talking about, oh, you just need to lose a little bit of weight or this and that, and it's like not coming from a place of love, like that man is just putting you down. Sis. And on top of putting you down, if he downplays your achievements, you just got your first car and he's just like, oh, well, you could have got like the latest model. What? If he's just jealous of you, then that's another. And the other one is if he keeps trying to make you feel small, keeps belittling you, make you feel kind of worthless, then that man don't like you. And let's just keep it simple. If he likes you, you'll know. If he doesn't like you, you'll be confused. There's exceptions to that, like shy guys or whatever the case may be, but for the most part, that is a good rule of thumb to follow. Okay, so I'm gonna split this up. I'm gonna give you guys some advice if you're single and some advice if you're in a relationship, okay? You can just level up and date men that are good men, period. Obviously, you can take parts from either or. I just wanted to kind of split it up. First, we're gonna go on to the single ladies. Number one is write down what you want in your man, okay? You probably heard this before, but I'm gonna tell y'all again. So write down qualities that are kind of like non-negotiables for you, and then other ones that you just want. So a non-negotiable can be him being loyal, which is a given. Like, that man should be loyal, but you know, these men be cheating these days, so you could write that down. You know what I mean? Just focus on what you really want in a partner. Write those qualities down, but more importantly, write down how you want to feel when you're in a relationship with him. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel like he's your best friend, lifelong partner? Because a man can have all the qualities that you wrote down on your list, but he may not make you feel the way that you want a man to make you feel, you know? But he may not make you feel protective and safe. So write down how you want to feel in that relationship, okay? That's really important. 2, you need to set your standards. And we'll get back to that, because before you set your standards, you need to understand your worth. This is just so important. When you know your worth, do not try to prove it to anyone. When you're like on that dating app and that man's talking about what do you bring to the table, you better block him. And I'm being so for real, because that is not the type of man that you should want in your life. You shouldn't have to prove why you're worthy of being taken to like a nice restaurant if that's what you want. You shouldn't have to let a man know that you're worthy, that he should reply to you within a timely manner and not take 24 hours to reply. Like, come on now. You shouldn't have to prove yourself. This may be a little bit harsh, but if you do not know your worth, I would say maybe stray away from dating and focus on dating yourself. Focus on showing up for yourself. And that means more than just taking yourselves on dates and doing self-care days. Like, that means like actually working on yourself, maybe trying to get through your traumas, learning how to communicate properly, learning how to feel and express your emotions, and knowing when to ask for help. Like, I don't know what it could be. Like, it's also deeper than just doing like nice things for yourself. Like, it also just be doing things when you literally do not want to do it. And it's also just softening your self-talk. Like, don't be cussing at yourself and telling yourself that you're not worthy and doing all this. Like, if you don't want someone to talk to you in a mean way, then don't talk to yourself like that. Like, do not talk down on yourself, okay? I feel like if you struggle to know your worth, then you may subconsciously look towards a man to validate you, and you do not want that, because the second that he stops, you're gonna feel like you're nothing, and you need to know that you're okay with or without a man. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't want a man. Like, you can know that you're fine without one, but everyone craves being in relationships every now and then, and that's perfectly fine. I would say work on knowing your worth, and that doesn't mean that you can't date until like you're 100% in love with yourself, because if you meet the right person, they can help you learn to love yourself even more. If it's the right person, then once you know your worth, you can set your standards. You better stand on it. Stand on it. You need to stand on it, okay? When you set your standards, do not lower them for anybody or anything. Some people will tell their friends their standards and they'll be like, you're being unrealistic, you'll never get that in this society.
Don't let nobody tell you that.
Because me personally, it's just like, if you can't get what you want out of a relationship and like what you truly desire, then I feel like you're never really gonna be happy. You're never really gonna be satisfied. Why are you settling for less just because you feel like no one will treat you right or like this and that? Like, no, do not do it, because I'm telling you, there's like someone out there who will love you for you. There's someone out there who's probably looking for someone exactly like you right now. So do not settle for less. A man will not even look your way if he does not find you attractive. And so why should you have to settle for someone that doesn't meet something that you wanted in your dream man? Keep your standards as high as you keep them for your friends, okay? Because there's no way you're gonna be over here giving that man chance after chance. When your friend does one thing wrong, you want to drop her. Like, come on now. So yeah, depending on what your standards are, if you want to be taking on expensive dates and that's your standard for the first date, there's men that will meet that category. Or if you say that you want flowers, you do not need to lower your standards because that man doesn't do flowers. Just like whatever you want, you should be able to get. The second you notice that he switches up, you need to dip. A lot of guys will pretend to be someone that they're really not. They'll put on this whole character and literally just like fake a whole persona just to use you. Then once they get what they want, they'll probably just switch up. They'll probably start acting cold, maybe start acting distant, stop planning dates, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's wrong? What is going on? This is not who you used to be. This is not who I fell in love with. Let me tell you, that man did not switch up, okay? Like, yes, in retrospect, it looked like he did, but he didn't. That is just who he always was. He was never that romantic guy and who did this and that. He just wanted something from you, and now that he got it, he switched up. You will be sitting there wondering what you did wrong and what you can improve to get the old him back. You will be chasing a man for a lifetime because he will never go back to who he once used to be. I don't feel like a man will put himself in a position where he can lose you. Why is time going by and he stopped putting in effort and he stopped dating you? No. And you shouldn't be sticking around waiting for him to change, because even if he says he will not. He will not. And he may change for a little bit, maybe if you threaten to leave, but overall, he's gonna go back right to how he was treating you. So just do yourself a favor and just dip. Don't waste your time, don't waste your tears, don't waste your breath. My next piece of advice is to be very cautious of dating a man who is just not on your level. I'm not saying this to be like cocky and be like, oh, because I make more than him, I don't need a man. I'm not saying all that. I'm saying this because a man can feel very inferior to you when you're making more money than him or just living a life of better quality than his. So obviously we're kind of tied up in this culture of like the men being the breadwinner and the woman being like stay at home. When those roles are sort of like switched, or woman is the breadwinner, then stuff can kind of go left. Like, I've definitely seen it time and time and time again where that man literally envies and resents you for having more than him, and then the second that he makes a little bit more than you, that man will literally flex it in front of your face, or he'll leave you to like go date some other woman that he now has access to just because he has more money. And what I mean by that is like, okay, when they're broke, they don't have access to certain types of women, but now when they have money, they can access more women, so they might just leave you once they go up. So yeah, it's not to say like, oh, you can't date a man that makes less than you or this and that. Like, no one's saying that. It is just to say though, like, just be wary of it, because he may be jealous of you, and that can lead towards a lot of resentment and hatred just for you living a good life. Just for that sole reason, sis. I feel like a little good example of this is Izzy and Stacy from Love is Blind. Obviously, Stacy makes significantly more than Izzy. We don't even know if Izzy has a job, so there's that. And he felt like he wasn't enough for her because he didn't make as much as she did. And so yeah, like, even though it didn't stem into this whole form of hatred towards Stacy, he still felt very inferior to her, and he still felt like he was never enough for her. So either way, it's just not the best situation. I'm gonna just throw this out here. If you worked hard to get to a certain point in your life, and there's no reason why you should have to be with someone who can't allow you to sustain that can't offer that for you as well. I'm gonna just say, you don't have to do everything in this video, but just another one. If you just really want to avoid having to deal with men that hate your guts,
that don't let them inside them,
you may want to consider going celibate. Now, it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. A lot of men just like women for their bodies, and like, we're often seen as objects a lot of the time, and they don't really value or respect our opinion. And as we know, a lot of men like literally shapeshift into the perfect man just so they can sleep with you. So if that's the case, then I feel like it could be very beneficial for you to just not sleep with men, period, until you meet someone that is actually worthy of it. If that's the only thing that they want, then you're just avoiding wasting your time with someone who never even wanted to really be with you like that. Now we're gonna be moving on to some advice if you are dating someone, you're in a relationship. And before I go on to say these points, I do want to say, even though I am filming this video, at the same time, don't let social media ruin your relationship. If you know that you're in a healthy relationship and everything's going swell, then don't be overthinking it too much. But at the same time, a lot of y'all be delusional, and like not in a good way, like delusional and in denial about what's really going on. Anyways, on to the advice. Never stay in a relationship just because you feel like you can't find any better. I always say that it is just better to be alone than to be miserable. We kind of push the idea of marriage on people. A lot of people want to get married before a certain age, but it's just like, it's worse to marry the wrong person than it is to just wait a little bit longer until you find the right person. Just because you feel like you can't find any better does not mean you need to settle for the relationship that you are currently in. And how do you know that you'll never find any better? The dating market ain't all sweet right now. That doesn't mean to say that you'll never find anything better. Have you ever stopped and questioned, maybe you feel like you won't find any better just because you haven't experienced any better? I'm saying this for the people who like just know like, okay, their relationship is not really it, and they're in that period where like they kind of want to leave but they just haven't done it yet. I'm talking to y'all, okay? I just don't ever think it's beneficial to stay in a place just because it's comfortable. Honestly, like, it is better to face the uncomfortableness of just being single. And honestly, by reading that thread, it seems like being single is really the move. And by reading that thread, no one should ever say that it's a bad idea or wrong to be single, because I think it's better to be single than be in a relationship with a man that hates you. But next. Okay, so the next one is, if you are just questioning if he likes you or loves you, then maybe he just doesn't. I'm kind of thinking about this. I feel like you would have to do a lot for someone to feel like you don't even like them. So I feel like if you're feeling that, then maybe it's a sign that he doesn't. If you're just an overthinker, maybe this just does not apply. Again, take what applies, because like this advice is not black and white, okay? Like it just depends on the situation, it depends on the context. Guys, hold yourself accountable. Now, I'm not about to say choose better men. I'm not gonna say that, okay? Because as we know, men like to pretend, men like to fake. You may not even know the real him until months in. But it is to say, the moment that you kind of start to notice that, ooh, he doesn't really like me, or he doesn't really seem as interested, or he stopped doing all the things that he used to do, especially if you've talked about it, because communication is key, but comprehension is also key. If you've had that conversation and things are just still not really it, then I feel like that is probably your sign to just leave. I feel like at that point, once you actually realize and you notice these things, you kind of need to hold yourself accountable and be like, oh, I'm noticing that he's not treating me the same. I'm noticing that I'm not really feeling valued. And so from that point on, you can kind of start preparing yourself to just leave that relationship and to just level up and do better. Now, a lot of people, they don't really realize this right away. Granted, a lot of people may not ever realize it. So that's why I'm saying, once you actually do start to realize this, even though it can be hard, and it probably will be, you need to like go through that pain, because it's just so much better for you to like leave, and especially leave when you're not ready, than to like deal with someone who's like constantly not treating you right. Once you leave, do not go back. Do not allow him back into your life, and like do not get back into a relationship with them when they say that they'll do better, okay? Because I feel like a lot of men, they just like this chase, so they could be treating you so bad, they could literally hate you, but then the second that you want to leave, they decide, no, I'm not gonna let her leave me, this, and then they're gonna cry and beg and say that they're gonna do better, just for them to do better for like a couple days, a couple weeks, and just to go back to their old selves. And you really have to put this into perspective. Like, why is he putting in all this effort to get you back, but he couldn't put in that effort to keep you? Have you thought about that, sis? Like, it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't take you having to leave a man for him to finally start treating you right. If you want to have kids, right, like, is that what you would want your daughter to go through? So why are you doing it to yourself? That man is just chasing you just to see if he can even get you back in the first place. He's not gonna treat you better because he doesn't want to lose you. No, most times, 9 times out of 10, that man is gonna treat you worse because he knows that you're gonna put up with it. So you need to put that foot down, sis. You need to decide that you're gonna walk away from that man and to go find better, to go level up. So I feel like with that, you may not want to give second chances. It's kind of harsh, yes, but at the same time, it may be what you need to do. I'm not gonna lie, like, anytime I gave someone a second chance, I ended up regretting it. I did. It was always just like, damn, I should have left the first time. I always felt like that because they always just do it worse. It never got any better. They never learned their lesson. They never value. They do you worse. So you may want to consider like just not even give people the second chance. It's just like once they cross that boundary, once they cross that line, there's just no coming back. At the end of the day, I just feel like I could tell you all this pieces of advice, but some people just need to experience things to learn. You can have someone in a YouTube video telling you exactly what you need to do and this and that, and you can still find yourself in these situations. You may know what to do, you may know that you need to leave, but it's just like when you're actually in the process or like experiencing it, it may not be as easy as you thought it was. So sometimes, even though you have all the right advice, you may just need to experience things. And I'm not encouraging you to go through this, but I am just saying sometimes people just need to go through things to actually like learn it. And so with that, don't be ignorant and don't think, oh, I can never be like those women, or it can never happen to me, because you just never know. At the end of the day, just know that you get to choose what type of man you want to be with. You get to choose who is going to be now a part of your family, who's going to be the father of your kids, who is going to be the person that you spend the rest of your life with, if that's what you want. You get to choose. It's your choice. Oh my gosh. And so choose right, okay? And so if you want some sprinkle in your life, don't make anyone make you feel bad for it, okay? I just feel like we need to have higher standards for the men that we decide to date, because if we just keep accepting bums, then that like they're gonna keep acting like that. But if we level up and we say, no, we're not gonna take this, then who are they gonna date? You know what I mean? Who are they gonna date? This is not what I expected for my second YouTube video, but it's just a topic and I just wanted to give the girlies some advice, honestly. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Next video will definitely be way more lighthearted. God bless the good men that are out there, period. We love you, kings. That is it for this video. I hope it helped you. If you like it, make sure to subscribe. It's definitely not my normal type of content, but you know, I want to try something new out here. You know what I mean? So if y'all liked it, maybe I have to do a little bit more. But anywho, remember that you are loved. Stay cute and peace.